Thomas, congratulations on your retirement and welcome to American Black Journal.
Hey, thank you so much, Stephen. And it's great to be back on American Black Journal.
That's right. That's right. You've been here many times before.
Yes.
So let's start with this. What makes this the right time to step away from this work that you've been doing for such a long time? And I think I speak for most of your listeners when I say, look, you don't seem like you're ready to stop yet, and we're not ready to give you up. Why go away now?
Yes, I have gotten a lot of that. And here's the thing, Stephen. So I knew my 30th anniversary was coming up, and, pre-COVID was planning a big blowout, 30 years at one station, and wanted to do a sit down dinner and all that. And because of the pandemic, obviously that didn't happen. So I was a little, I know how those school kids feel about graduation and prom and all that, because that just cannot happen now, right? So when I initially got the call from the mayor, I said, well, Mr. Mayor, I really love what I do, but, I'm willing to have a conversation. And I just really bought into his vision about what he wants to do for the residents of Detroit. And, it lit me up, really, to be honest with you. And I didn't say yes right away. I did my due diligence, as anyone should do. And, but when I thought about the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of Detroiters, wraparound services, making sure they know about all the opportunities that are available through the city, I'm like, man, that's what I do. That's what I care about, making a difference in the lives of people. So the opportunity arose. It just so happened to be right near my 30th anniversary. They wanted me to start early, but I said, no, I'm going to reach this 30-year milestone first. And I'm really, really glad I did it that way, because I've had a time to, share my experiences and just get the accolades from people. I've been overwhelmed. I really have. You just never know how people feel about you until you step away from something that they're accustomed to. I had Vince McCraw, our president of the Detroit chapter of NABJ, call me and say, I'm having withdrawals. I've got my radio set to come on at 7:30, and I know your first live shot is at 7:30, and no Vickie. So it's just been amazing. It's been amazing.
Yeah. So I do want to talk about the work that you're going to do with Mayor Mike Duggan. But first, let's look back at what's changed over 30 years. So radio is really different than when you started. Journalism is really different than when you started. And Detroit, of course, is really different from when you started. What stands out for you among those changes?
Well, I remember cutting and splicing. Now, the younger kids probably have no idea what a reel-to-reel is. But I would spend hours and hours cutting and splicing, my reports and special reports. And then it went from reel-to-reel to, I think it was then the cassette. And then it was the mini disc, and now it's all audio. I did my job, over the last year because of the pandemic, right on my phone. I would go live, using a tie line on the phone, and found some apps, and actually found those apps and trained my colleagues at WWJ, because we weren't used to it. And, we were working from home, so we had to get up to speed like snappy, right? So I found apps. And so, all this stuff can be done on the phone now. So it has changed quite a bit, but, we changed with the times,
Yeah. What about the city? When you started out, was Coleman Young still mayor, I would imagine?
Yes, that was like one of the highlights of my career, covering his administration. And I was actually talking with some friends recently about covering him and the scrums we used to do with all the reporters gathered around the mayor. And it really taught me a lot about, how to cover, the political angles of mayor, and so forth. But boy, he was tough. And I just remember some of those times when you asked the wrong question in his mind and his jaws would start moving. That's when you know he's upset. And so he would let you have it.
Yes, he
But
would.
man, did you learn a lot of about just having the fortitude and the stick-to-itiveness to just keep plugging away no matter what. So covering him really served me well down the line, and just being able to get these exclusive stories, breaking news, and all that. So yeah, that was one of the highlights for me. And then in terms of what the city looks like, obviously it is quite different today than 30 years ago. Like they used to say, you could roll a bowling ball down Woodward and not hit anybody. Yeah, that really was the case. And growing up, you know, we used to go to the Fox Theater. They used to show movies, and was it the Fox? I think so. But we used to go downtown to watch the movies, the Bruce Lee flicks when I was a kid. But yeah, things changed, and I think they've changed for the better. I know people have their concerns about certain developers, Dan Gilbert specifically, monopolizing. But just think about if we didn't have a Dan Gilbert, if he did not buy those buildings, everybody had the opportunity to buy them, right? So, you know, he's contributed a lot to what downtown looks like. And, you know, I think we're just on the up and up from here.
Yeah, yeah. So you started by talking about, you know, the mayor reaching out to you to see if you would come help his efforts to improve Detroit. He's talking differently about what his third term would be like and what the focus would be, and it is much more on equity and opportunity for
And the residents.
and residents. And it sounds like that was what for you was really attractive.
Yeah, because I'm just a people person, Stephen, and I think that's why my career has been so successful over the last 30 years at WWJ, because I'm part of the community, part of Highland Park, part of Detroit, grew up, you know, on the west side of Detroit, Highland Park. And so it's just something about the inner city that I just, you know, I'm just part of it. So I can relate to a lot of residents when they're struggling with high gas bills, high car insurance, homeowners insurance, and then just the approach that you have when you're conducting interviews. So it has served me well, and having that connectedness is also part of being able to do a good job in this business. And people respect it, you know, me calling them early in the morning sometimes. And, you know, and I just really, I can't even put into words, you know, these last 30 years, and just how blessed I've been to be able to do my job. And, you know, another thing that I found out over this last week or so is that, you know, people really appreciated that they knew that I had a job to do, but I always did that job in a respectful manner. You know, it's all about getting both sides of the story, all sides of the story. And, you know, I pride myself in doing that. So I'm really excited about being able to tell stories of the people of Detroit as it relates to the opportunities that are available.
Yeah.
I'm just thrilled.